Well, hi Stampers, Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers, and I am back today with the 5th video in my Stamparatus Basics series. I hope you've watched the other ones and have picked up lots of little tips for using the Stamparatus, but more importantly, I hope you're seeing how easy this tool is to not only use, but how easy it makes your stamping with a whole lot less goofs than having to start over. So today I want to show you a couple of tips that I used when I made this card. In particular, using your markers on your stamp. Right on your stamp. Now I have to admit, I have never been a huge fan of using markers on my stamps. The main reason is because I never felt you got a really dark, crisp image. I just felt my ink pads got it so much better. So I never did things like this a lot where you put multiple colors on one stamp at one time. Well, now that I've got the Stamparatus and have played with it, oh my gosh, I have a whole new outlook as far as my markers go. So what I want to show you is how I did that. And this is actually just a scrap piece of Whisper White because I am going to cut it out with a circle punch. And then I went ahead and I grabbed my Real Red marker, and on this stamp I wanted to use 2 colors. So we've got Real Red, and we're gonna do the it's upside down here, life and the word better with the red one. So we're going ahead and just taking the marker. If you've never done this before, it's a great way to have a ton of stamp pads, so to speak. So you have markers, you can double them up and they act like stamp pads. Then we're going to take soft suede and we'll color our words up at the top here. So it's going to say, life is so much better with you in it. Now this little, I don't know if it's a little leaf or a little flower, I don't want that on this particular stamped image, so we're going to just leave that off. And I go ahead, color it with my markers, and then I make sure my paper is right up tight in the corner here. You'll notice I'm not using the magnets. A lot of times I don't mess with them. As long as I can have my paper up in the corner, we're good, because if it would happen to move, I just know to slide it right back up there. Now this is what I mean. I look at this image and I just don't think it's that deep, dark, bold, real crisp. So with the Stamparatus, I can very easily just ink up my stamp again with my markers. So we'll take our soft suede here and we'll get those smaller letters at the top and the bottom. Get that inked up good. And then I'll grab my Real Red again. So I'm really just going right over, and the Stamparatus will allow me to just stamp this image again, right on top of the other one. So we're kind of doubling up on the ink, so to speak, which should make it nice and dark and much bolder, which is what I like. Make sure you get the end there. Make sure we're up in the corner. Go ahead and stamp it again. And look at that, so much better. I just think it's nice and bold and crisp. So you'll see on my card, I just punched it out with a 2-inch circle punch, and then I use the Starburst punch underneath it. Don't worry about the sizes and the measurements in the blog post. I'll have pictures of the card as well as all of the products I use and the dimensions for cutting everything out. I don't think I mentioned, this is the Petal Palette stamp set. This is one of my very favorites out of the Occasions catalog. So many awesome greetings and images. And then we have the coordinating dies that go with it, which I just use the branch here to cut out this piece. I've got a little dimension going there to cut out our bird as well. Now with our little branch back here, I actually stamped that on the Stamparatus as well. We can just take that one off. And this one, it doesn't matter so much. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that, because if it doesn't stamp well, obviously I can just restamp it again. Now, I found when I did it, it stamped good, so we'll see. So we can just take our marker again, get all the stems here, and stems or branches, and then we'll take Garden Green, and we'll get our leaves. And then we'll go ahead and stamp it. Now, you can see it did not stamp good. And that was probably my fault. I probably did not have those leaves inked up really good. So we'll just go ahead and go over them. Again, I think it was, well, you know what I'm going to do? Just to be safe, we'll just redo all of our leaves. That'll ensure that they're nice and dark. And we can flip it over. I'll tell you, the more I keep using this, oh, look at that, beautiful. The more I keep using the Stamparatus, I am loving it instead of using clear blocks. It's all right here, especially using the markers. It was very simple. I have kind of a rest here to do that. If you don't like the angle this is on, a little tip is you can put a stamp case up there and that makes it even more level and flat. But it's just so easy to ink up and stamp. And then on the inside, I used the I Just Love You, and I did that the same way as I did this one. I stamped it twice so it's nice and crisp. So there's your tips for using the Stamparatus in the 5th video of my series with it. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Now remember, the Stamparatus will be available for everybody on June 1st. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to help you get this. Definitely a must-have in your stamping toolbox. Let me know and I'll be happy to send you a catalog and help you in any way that I can. So I look forward to sharing more videos with you. Have a stamp happy day, guys.